I guess Seth MacFarlane mended whatever he needed to mend in order to get Charlize Theron in his movie. You guys remember the boob song in the Oscars a couple years back? Yeah, she was not happy about that. Okay, so A Million Bullshit Ways to Die in the West. So A Million Ways to Die in the West is Seth MacFarlane's second film, and his first one being Ted. And I thought Ted was actually a pretty good comedy. I was expecting Seth MacFarlane to keep the ball rolling. Unfortunately, the ball stopped and it fell hard for Seth MacFarlane. So Seth MacFarlane is the main star of this movie, and he plays a sheep herder in which he loses his girlfriend, played by Amanda Seyfried, and he just complains the whole movie why his entire world sucks. That is until he meets Charlize Theron's character, in which she teaches him ways in order to get his girlfriend back. Which is kind of ironic because Seth MacFarlane's character is a bit of a pussy in this movie, and Charlize Theron is teaching him how to be manlier. And from there we have our movie, and this fuck. As you guys know, Seth MacFarlane is the creator of such cartoons such as Family Guy and American Dad, and I really do not like those cartoons. However though, I really like the first couple seasons of Family Guy, but ever since those first couple seasons were over and from then on, it just became complete and utter bullshit. And A Million Ways to Die in the West is basically like watching a live-action Family Guy episode that's 2 hours long and it's based in the Wild West. The jokes were just so bland and they felt forced, and it got to the point where it was just not funny. I've seen Seth MacFarlane be creative in his humor, but in A Million Ways to Die in the West, no. The story in this movie kind of felt like a skit comedy. But when you're having skit comedy humor in a 2 hour long movie, that spells bad news all over. Each scene in the movie jumped from one scene to prepare a joke, the joke happens, scene's over, on to the next scene, joke happens, scene is over, and rinse and repeat, and it gets repetitive and really boring, honestly. Not only was this thing a comedy, but it was also sort of labeled like a drama, a love story, an action movie. I felt like this movie didn't know what it actually was. When a movie loses focus on what it actually is, then I lose focus on the movie itself, and that's not what I look for in a comedy. Now, Seth MacFarlane and Charlize Theron's chemistry in this movie, it was alright, I rolled with it. However, this movie, the characters, they annoy the crap out of me. For example, someone would die in a scene and then Seth MacFarlane would point that out saying, oh, this is why the West sucks, and he'd just do that repeatedly. I'm just like, dude, shut up, please. However, he wasn't the only character in the movie to actually do that, and that just made the movie much more worse for me. However though, Neil Patrick Harris was in the movie, and honestly, he was the best part in the movie. He has this little cool twirly mustache, which he points out how great of a mustache he has. Even there's a whole choreographed song on why mustaches are great in the West. With that including in some really awesome cameos in this movie, but that doesn't make up for 2 hours of BS. I felt like Seth MacFarlane relied on these cameos to bring the humor, or it makes the audience go, oh hey, look at that, and then that just kind of makes his humor lazy. So lazy to a point where I actually checked my phone at least 5 or 6 times throughout the whole entire movie. It really felt like an hour and a half has gone by, but each time I would look at my phone, only 20 minutes has gone by. I'm just like, when is this catastrophe over? However though, I will give it this. Something happened in the movie where I was like, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. It went from that and then I'm like, ooh, now I'm actually really enjoying this. Then the movie just went to complete shit again, and then I kept checking my phones 3 more times, and then I got to see 30 more minutes of piss and shit jokes, and I'm just like, yay, that's funny, right? So A Million Ways to Die in the West is a poor attempt at comedy by Seth MacFarlane. His set of characters weren't actually interesting at all, except for NPH though. He was the man. The story felt like skit comedy, and it felt just like a really long live-action Family Guy episode based in the Wild West. And the jokes felt bland. I felt as if all the funny parts in the movie were shown in the trailer, and I felt the trailers actually spoiled the movie. Which is a lesson in life, do not watch more than one trailer. This has been a constant bumpy ride for this movie. If you make me hate the movie in the beginning and then get me to a level where I actually like it and then back down to a level where I hate it, I officially hate that movie. A A Million Ways to Die in the West had no idea what it was, and for that I give it a 1 out of 5. It wasn't as bad as Haunted House 2, but oh my god, it was bad. I just hope that Ted isn't Seth MacFarlane's best comedy, because I know he's gonna make more comedies, but if Ted is his best one, that's just really sad. But oh well, time will tell, but in the meantime, I have to get going. Peace.